This evening, first up, the Regent Street bombing investigation deepens. Prosecutors confirm new evidence has been uncovered and sent overseas for forensic testing, delaying full disclosure in the terror case that shook the nation and claimed the life of 6-year-old Soraya Bourne. We'll tell you what investigators found and what comes next for the 7 accused. Plus, a powerful gesture of inclusion. President Irfaan Ali announces a one-off $50,000 grant for every person living with a disability. More than 27,000 Guyanese set to benefit before month end. We have details on the $1.4 billion program. Also, 3 charged in a months-long fraud and forgery ring. A businessman on the West Coast of Demerara says he was targeted for nearly a year. Tonight, who the accused are and how police says the alleged scheme unfolded, and a major leap forward for Ghana's digital health future. The Ministry of Health partners with New York Mount Sinai to train a new generation of tech specialists who will support telemedicine, health data systems, and the country's expanding digital infrastructure. Plus, heightened tension abroad. U.S. President Donald Trump says nations involved in drug trafficking should be attacked, prompting sharp accusations against Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro and growing fears of political upheaval across the region. These stories and more coming up on Headline News Update. Stay with us. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for December 3rd, 2025. I'm Bibi Backus. Thank you for joining us. First up, the investigation into the deadly Regent Street gas station bombing has intensified, with new evidence sent overseas for forensic testing, and the case is now delayed. Dale Jarvis brings us the latest developments.
The investigation into the deadly bombing at the Mobile gas station on Regent Street has intensified, with prosecutors revealing that additional evidence has been discovered and sent for overseas analysis. The matter was called today at the Georgetown Magistrates Court before Acting Chief Magistrate Faith Magusti. Prosecutor Mandel Moore informed the court that 2 newly recovered items from the crime scene were dispatched to India for forensic testing. As a result, full disclosure in the matter remains incomplete. Prosecution requested more time, and the case was adjourned to December 16, 2025. Facing joint terrorism charges are Venezuelan nationals Daniel Alexander, Ramirez Podemo, alleged mastermind of the attack, Alexander Betancourt, Crystal LaCruz, and Guyanese national Johnny Boudram. The October 26 explosion claimed the life of 6-year-old Soraya Bourne and shocked the nation. Defense attorneys Nigel Hughes and Mikhail Puran raised no objections to the adjournment. Once disclosure is complete, the case will move to a paper committal, where a magistrate reviews written evidence to determine whether the matter should proceed to the High Court. In total, 7 people have been charged in what police describe as a coordinated terrorist act. The remaining accused, Guyanese nationals Wayne Correa, Ramesh Pramdio, and Jennifer Rodriguez, are being heard in separate jurisdictions and will return to court on December 17. Authorities say Podemo illegally entered Guyana from Venezuela, conducted surveillance on the fuel station, and planted the explosive device before fleeing. The attack has been condemned by President Dr. Irfaan Ali as a violent assault on Guyana, with Home Affairs Minister Onish Waldron stating that the government will seek the death penalty for anyone convicted under anti-terrorism laws. Reporting for Headline News Update, Dale Jarvis.
Thanks, Dale. The government will distribute a one-off $50,000 grant to every person living with a disability before the end of December, President Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali announced earlier today. The initiative, valued at $1.4 billion, will benefit more than 27,000 Guyanese. The president made the announcement during a national observance of International Day of Persons Living with Disability at the Railway Courtyard in Georgetown, hosted by the Office of the President in collaboration with the Office of the First Lady.
I am pleased to announce that I've instructed that a one-off grant of $50,000 be paid to every disabled person before the end of this month, providing direct financial support totaling $1.4 billion to PWDs, $1.4 billion in this initiative alone, the most vulnerable in our society, benefiting more than 27,000 persons.
In his address, President Ali said, disabilities, whether temporary or lifelong, form part of a human experience and must never be viewed as a limitation. He stressed that national development must be rooted in compassion, equity, and collective responsibility.
Regardless of where you sit in private or public life, we must take community responsibility to uplift those persons living with disability.
The president reaffirmed his administration's commitment to a more inclusive Guyana.
If in every single project we do, whether it's a community park, a community center, a community field, a little park in your private sector organization, a little lunch room in your private sector organization, in your boardroom, both public and private. If we dedicate 3.5% of the space, between 3.5 and 5% of the space, to persons living with disability, we will completely create an environment that is conducive and dignified for every single person living with disability. And I want to start by us in government leading by example. So, as from today, every single new project must have at least 10% of the space dedicated specifically to support persons living with disabilities.
On a different note, police in Regional Division 3 have charged 3 individuals in connection with a months-long fraud and forgery scheme that allegedly targeted a West Coast Demerara businessman. They accused 49-year-old Paul Watson of Old Road Zealot, 58-year-old Parbati Paro Sharma, and 55-year-old Omar Ralph, both of Independence Street, Lagrange, was jointly charged with obtaining by false pretense contrary to criminal law, as well as 4 counts of forgery of an official document. According to police, the offenses were committed against 43-year-old businessman of La Union Public Road between September 2024 and May of 2025. Investigators alleged that the trio conspired to produce forged documents and use them to dishonestly obtain money or benefits from the victim during that period. The defendants appeared before Magistrate Rubendranath Singh at the Freedom Hoop Magistrates Court, where the charges were formally read. They were not required to enter a plea as the matters are indictable. Each was granted $300,000 bail. The case has been adjourned to February 17, 2026, when it will return for further proceedings as investigations continue. Stick around when we return. Wisma Mackenzie Bridge 92% complete, promising major benefits for Linden. And Health Ministry Mount Sinai launch National Digital Health Training Program.
The most wonderful time of the year, and we're celebrating with big savings on smartphones, starting as low as $16,500 for the Samsung A06 and $26,500 for the Samsung A16 and $40,500 for the A26. But wait, there's more. Get 1 month free data with your new phone to keep you close to loved ones near and far. Offer available while stocks last. Visit a Digicel store today and unwrap the gift of real connections. Digicel.
See clearly with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Current smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Middle Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Check us out at Decor and Gift Gallery this Christmas holiday for all your shopping needs. We are located at 47 Craig and Sheriff Street, Campbellville, Georgetown.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. Ghana has taken a significant step towards modernizing its healthcare system with the launch of a national digital health training program, a partnership between the Ministry of Health and the Mount Sinai Digital Health Training Institute of New York. The initiative, supported by the Greater Ghana Initiative, was officially unveiled earlier today at the ministry's Brickdam headquarters. The program aims to train a new team of technical professionals equipped to operate and maintain the country's growing digital health infrastructure. Trainees will receive specialized instruction in digital health systems, telemedicine platforms, health technology support, software management, and data-driven healthcare delivery. In his feature address, Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony said the initiative is central to Ghana's broader digital transformation effort.
While it's easy to buy technology, to buy equipment, the transformation will not happen without getting people to run these systems. And that is why it is so important that we invest in training persons not only here in Region 4, but from all the different regions. And once we complete that training, they'll have a job with the ministry. This project is going to take care of them for the first 3 years, and then the ministry is going to bring them in the ministry's employ, and they become permanent employees of the ministry.
This program ensures we have the people who can make that vision a reality, Dr. Anthony added. Mount Sinai Executive Director Dr. Rachel Vreeman described the launch as a milestone, calling it the start of a bold, transformative movement in Ghana's health development. Graduates will transition directly into employment within the Ministry of Health, first through project support and later as permanent staff as the system expands. The Greater Ghana Initiative, funded by ExxonMobil Guyana, HES, and CNOC, continues to play a key role in strengthening national capacity through investments in education, healthcare, and workforce development. Senior officials from the health sector and private partners attended the launch. In other news, the new US $35 million Wismar-Mackenzie Bridge is now 92.3% complete, signaling that residents and commuters in Linden are closer than ever to benefiting from one of the region's most transformative infrastructure projects. According to the Ministry of Public Works, the 4-lane structure will significantly cut travel time, ease congestion, and reduce transportation costs. The bridge will also be toll-free, a government policy aimed at making travel more affordable and efficient for thousands who cross daily. Spanning 220 meters, the precast concrete bridge is engineered to accommodate heavier and larger vehicles, higher travel speeds, and uninterrupted river traffic. Its modern design includes 2 pedestrian walkways separated by safety barriers, mirroring the aesthetics of the new Barrajaglio Demerara River Bridge. The contractor, China Railway Construction Company Limited, remains ahead of schedule, having completed 47 concrete girders, with final girder production expected in early December. Ongoing works include slab connections, diaphragm installations, retaining wall construction, and completed bend caps at key piers. Once finished, the bridge is expected to become a landmark of Region 10 and a catalyst for economic growth, improving connectivity and strengthening Linden's role as a central commercial hub. Don't go away after the break. Public anger mounts over Sri Lanka's food disaster response and no compromise on territory after Ukraine talks with US-Russian officials.
This Christmas runs on real connections with Digicel. The calls, the laughter, the joy, and the chance to pick and win big. We're giving away $12 million. Yes, every week, one lucky Digicel customer gets a chance to win up to $2 million. 6 lucky winners in total. Here's how you get in. Top up with $1,000 or more, or pay your fiber or postpaid bill in full. The more you top up, the more chances you get. Stay connected this Christmas for your chance to win big. Digicel.
Check us out at Decor and Gift Gallery this Christmas holiday for all your shopping needs. We are located at 47 Craig Street, Campbellville, Georgetown.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Current smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Mill Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world.
Good evening, I'm Dominic Gittins. Tonight, the US halts asylum, green card, and citizenship processing for 19 countries, delaying more than 1 million cases. Trump doubles down on attacking drug trafficking nations. Deadly extreme weather hits Sri Lanka, and Russia says no progress on a Ukraine peace deal. We begin in the United States. The US has imposed an indefinite hold on asylum, green card, and citizenship applications from 19 countries under existing travel restrictions. USCIS says over 1.4 million cases may face delays as all applicants undergo enhanced national security vetting. The pause applies even to individuals already inside the United States. US President Donald Trump maintains that any country trafficking drugs should be attacked. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro says Trump is trying to remove him from office. For Venezuelans struggling with an economic crisis, support for a potential regime change is increasing. Al Jazeera's Teresa Bo reports.
Jose Parada crosses the Simón Bolívar Bridge between Colombia and Venezuela almost every day. He survives by selling pens and other items and says Venezuela needs political change.
Venezuela has to change. People barely make enough to eat. The border has become tense and authorities don't want us to work. The government wants to stay by force, but they have to go.
It is happening as the United States continues to increase its military buildup in the Caribbean. And Donald Trump says that attacks on Venezuelan soil may begin soon.
For the thousands of Venezuelans who cross the border every day to work, trade, or reunite with their families, they say uncertainty has become the new normal. They say that Venezuela has seen years of instability in the past. However, this moment feels different, more volatile, more unpredictable.
Venezuela has the world's largest oil reserves. Its government says that is what the United States is after. The National Assembly on Tuesday denounced what it calls the theft of Venezuela's natural resources after a U.S. judge authorized the sale of a parent company of Venezuela's oil company Citgo to a hedge fund in the United States.
Our president has expressed with clarity that the threats of the use of force by the United States and the use of force against civilians has the intention of regime change, and the objective is to steal our natural resources.
But negotiations are ongoing. Even though the U.S. announced the Venezuelan airspace is closed, it recently requested authorization for flights carrying Venezuelan deportees to resume. Venezuela authorized U.S. flights to land at the airport in Maiquetía on Wednesday.
I want those boats taken out.
As tensions remain high, Pope Leo is hoping for more dialogue.
I believe once again that it is better to find ways to have dialogue, maybe pressure, including economic pressure, but searching for other ways to change if this is what the United States is willing to do.
Venezuelans have been struggling with economic hardship for years. The ongoing tension with the United States adds to their concerns. And even though there are many who are hoping for change, there are many others who are afraid what that change will bring about. Teresa Bo, Al Jazeera, at the Colombia-Venezuelan border.
Extreme weather is causing devastation in Sri Lanka. At least 465 people have died and hundreds are missing. Authorities says it's the worst natural disaster since the 2004 tsunami. Al Jazeera's Manel Fernandez reports.
Plans are fluid here at the Katunaka Air Force Base, decided by the needs of those trapped in flood and landslide affected Sri Lanka. A routine water drop was changed to include dry rations for hundreds of people. More than 1.5 tons of supplies, including rice, lentils, canned fish, soya, milk and instant noodles. In addition to dropping off supplies here in Norelia, the crew also picking up medicine from the main hospital to take to Kotmale. Back on the chopper to the next stop, where the crew is met by thankful hospital staff. Some have moved to relief centres, others walk miles in dangerous conditions to get to work. The delivery included medicine for hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol and blood sugar testing strips, which are in short supply. The hospital is running short of fuel for its generator, but that will have to wait for another day. With the cargo delivered, the chopper took on its next task, transporting Special Force commandos to Mandaramnora or Misty City. But thick cloud cover meant the pilot could drop only half the group. So it was time to head back to base, taking this group of civilians to safety.
People are really scared that there will be landslides. Nothing has reached the village in Kotmale. All the roads are damaged. We walked for days to get out.
We're from Gal and came to Kotmale for my father's memorial service. I came with my sister and we got stuck, unable to leave. There was rockfall and water gushing. We took the children and ran to safety.
With more than 100 roads still impassable, access to communities remains difficult.
we have started clearing, and now around we have all the main cities of the country are connected to to Colombo. We have around 20 bridges have collapsed. So we have estimated approximately we need 190 billion to bring it back to the original position.
Sri Lanka faces a huge challenge to rebuild after its worst natural disaster since the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. But for now, saving lives is the immediate challenge.
The rains may have ceased, but for rescue teams like this Air Force crew, the challenges are far from over. Keeping the citizens like those they've picked up on this flight safe is one of their top priorities. Minal Fernandez, Al Jazeera, aboard a Sri Lankan Air Force rescue flight.
Russia says a deal to end the fighting with Ukraine is no closer after talks between President Vladimir Putin and senior US officials. Al Jazeera's Yulia Shapovalova reports.
The negotiations between the Russian leader and US Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Donald Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner lasted almost 5 hours. Despite the parties agreeing not to disclose the details of the talks in the Kremlin, Russian presidential aide Yuri Ushakov told reporters that although several versions of the US peace settlement plan brought by the American counterparts were discussed, no compromise was reached.
There were some things we could agree on, some caused criticism, but a constructive and useful discussion took place, and work to achieve long-term peace will continue.
On the eve of the meeting, Putin announced new military victories, emphasizing that Russia can win the war without negotiations if its interests are not respected. His army commanders claimed their troops had taken Pokrovsk, but Ukrainian sources say the fighting for the city still continues. Yet more strong remarks were made by the Russian president at the Russia's Calling summit right before the meeting with the US delegation. He blamed Europe for hindering the US efforts to resolve the conflict.
They are on the side of war. Even when they try to supposedly introduce some changes to Trump's proposal, we see clearly what they are doing. All these changes are aimed at only one thing, to completely block the entire peace process by putting forward demands that are absolutely unacceptable for Russia.
According to Putin, Russia does not intend to fight European countries, but if Europe starts a war, Russia is ready to fight immediately. In response to Kiev's recent attacks on Russian tankers in the Black Sea, Putin threatens to cut Ukraine off from the sea and intensify strikes on Ukrainian ports.
For many, Putin's latest words are an indication that he does not plan to end the hostilities. It's clear that the difference in Russian-Ukrainian positions is so significant that a compromise is highly unlikely, at least for now. Yulia Shapovalova, Al Jazeera, Moscow.
Thanks, Dominique. This brings us to the end of our regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. And that's it to be 2 headline news for this Wednesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourselves and each other.